Sue today. So Lisa Berry is our president.
Thank you.
Over to you.
I appreciate it. It's an honor. Then we will proceed and take nominations for vice president.
I nominate Keith Bolton for vice president.
Second. Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Cindy Tillman as vice president.
The second. Okay, are there any other, until there's a second, Carl, you have that?
Yes.
Okay, are there any other nominations? We'll vote then. I guess we need
Look out.
more paper. Yes, we need
Look out.
more paper. Maybe everybody just rips that paper you're getting in half. In case you read out the second time around. Or wait, the next one.
You don't know.
Next.
This side. Bolton. 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 Cindy. Cindy Yellers. Keith Bolton. Cindy Yellers. Keith, 4, 3.
Keith Bolton is the vice president. I've been healthy this year, but maybe I won't be next year. I think then we nominate for treasurer.
I nominate Keith.
Second. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? If there are none, can I have a motion to close the nominations and cast a unanimous ballot?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then we will nominate for clerk. Karen had the position as clerk for the last 2 years, so new one. And the clerk's responsibility is really to, when Carl's not here, is to take minutes in closed sessions. There are always things that have to be signed by the clerk. I'm in charge of certifying an election when it comes around. I'm not sure what else. Jean Kukl really serves as the assistant, as a deputy vice clerk for elections and things, but we need a former board clerk, so we'll nominate someone.
I nominate Cindy Tillman. Second.
Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? None, can I hear a motion to close the nominations and cast the unanimous ballot?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We then also elected an assistant clerk.
Do we even need that?
We haven't in the last few years.
We have,
There was a couple times when Karen wasn't able to be here that Cindy had to fill in for her, especially in the closed session.
I think that our policy sets out that we have.
We do We have that office.
We have that office on our ledger, so, if we need on system. If Cindy goes, you know, if the clerk is on vacation or something and something has to be signed.
I nominate two.
Second.
Are there any nominations?
Who's your nominee? I'm sorry.
Mr. White. Mr. White.
It's not a girl's position, Steve. I reject. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? If there aren't none, can I hear a motion to close the nominations and cast unanimous ballot?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Richard Lyden is the assistant clerk. Thank you very much.
Great company.
In our board packet, we had this committee list, and I think we're not gonna finalize that tonight. But if someone has a desire to move on to a committee or off, email me and let me know before next meeting. Dave and Keith, you had an interest in keeping the athletic committee, so maybe with the advent of a new athletic director, you guys could formulate some things that you would like to cover in that committee and bring it back to the board next time. Karen Brower is going to stay on the communications committee as a member of the public. So the rest of these, if you want to go on or off, let me know. Dick and Jerry, if you're interested in any, let me know. Or if nobody asks
No.
you, I might call you and ask you.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, I'd be interested in the property building and security committee.
Okay. I don't think we can have, let me talk to everybody, because I don't think we can have more than 4 on there, but I know that you'd be interested.
And I will give my seat up to Dick.
Okay.
He belongs there.
Okay, well then we don't have to.
And
So-
I'd be interested in being a liaison to Sevastopol County. Sevastopol.
Okay, and, good, you said that. Liaison, we talked about these other groups, the Booster Club Curriculum Committee, PTO, Staff Development, Technology. We talked about them being liaisons. So you don't have to feel like you have to attend every meeting, but get their minutes so that you can be informed and report back to the board if you think there's something that the board should know about. Or with the town liaisons, going to their, I don't know if there'll be an annual meeting this year, but going to an annual meeting or meetings periodically and giving them an update on good things that are happening in the school. So, okay, so we'll wrap that up next month. We'll move to the consent agenda then. Is there anything that anyone would like to have removed from the consent agenda? If not, the consent agenda will be approved by consent, including the donations from St. Luke's Episcopal Church of $625 for the Lunch Angel program, and Walton and Linda Gregerson of $200 for the Lunch Angel program. So thank you to those folks in Luke. Under reports, then we all had the principals and pupil services reports in our packets. So if you have questions about those, you can reach out to those folks. Mr. Luke, you have a report there. Is there anything else that you have?
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to add is that for strategic planning, and Jen Klein is right now taking the action team's plans and organizing them, sending them to Aaron Melchewski at CISA 7 for proofreading and editing, and then we should have them maybe at the May board meeting, depending how the world is in May, but at that point, that's where we're at.
And Dick and Jerry, you'll have a orientation
Yeah, we'll
to
set
get
the
up to
date.
speed on what some of those things are, because right now you probably might not know what we're talking about, but you'll get up to speed on all of those with heat. I do not have anything to report. I don't know if any other committees the communications committee is gonna meet Monday via phone to talk about maybe a 4-page spring newsletter. That we will definitely want to do a summer newsletter.
Typically it's 8 pages. but
Typically
we're
it's 8
looking at a shorter
pages,
one,
but
right?
we thought maybe we could just highlight the seniors, highlight the academics in this spring edition, just to have something out there. So we'll see how that goes on Monday.
Can I ask a question on the spring report? Will they come and brief this to us at some point?
Yeah,
This slideshow and everything?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're trying to keep the room to under 10.
Nope,
Yeah.
thank you, no,
You
I'm
know what
very
I-
good with that, I was just reading through it. like
You know what
that.
I will say, I'll backtrack. I think that we should schedule a board retreat for this summer. We didn't do one last year. It involves goal setting. We can do a little more deep dive into the budget and things like, there's a session from the state convention that said we would like to present to us on how boards operate or how we should or should not operate. And that would be an opportunity to have an administrator come in and give us an update on that PowerPoint that Abbott included in his. So, we're thinking maybe June, so bring your calendars next month, and maybe we can find a date.
This is an initiative by Adam, this PowerPoint presentation, the next generation.
Correct.
Okay.
Anything on the budget, Mr. Whiskey?
The budget, yeah, we're purchasing a van, which was within the budget, plan. That'll be purchased this week, Friday. We're getting it from Jim Olson's. It's right within the budget. It was a little bit more expensive than the one down in Green Bay, but servicing and services needs that are up here, it's closer locally, so that's happening at that time. At this point, all our staff is being paid at full rate, even though we're not active with kids in the building, but we are active teaching and carrying out services. So our budget's online. We'll have a little bit of savings in spring sports and activities, and substitute teachers will be a savings. So those are where the budget's at right now. And we're supposed to be documenting, as I had a seminar on Tuesday, and we're supposed to be documenting what expenses we incur because of this, because we need to get some relief funds for it, any expenses associated with the pandemic.
I'd like to comment on budget if I could, from the state perspective. I just got an email from, Dan Rossmiller at WASD today, and, here's what they're talking about as far as the state funding. Major K-12 financial elements in the second year of the biennium, which will be next year, include an increase for $179 per member in the revenue limit formula and an increase in special education categorical aid from an anticipated 26% of reimbursement to 30%. However, these elements were predicated on an assumed level of state revenue which may not be achievable. It is at least a possibility that a budget repair bill at the state level could reduce these major budget elements. And they're talking about 3 possible scenarios. The best case scenario would be for the $179 added to the revenue limit to remain and 30% reimbursement rate for special ed. If there's no revenue limit increase, $0 on the revenue limit increase, and 30% reimbursement on special ed expenditures, that would still be a plus. The worst case is a $50 decrease in the revenue limit and 26% no increase on the reimbursement rate for special education. So this is going to be a big factor in state budgeting for next year.
Yeah, the categorical aid, we're not sure where that's sitting next year. But they go into those pockets of money as well. So we don't know what they're gonna do.
Right, and there is some possibility that some of this could be backfilled with the money that is coming from the state, or from the feds rather, under the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund. And there is some anticipation that we will be getting some funds. And those could be used for things like IDEA, the Perkins, CTE, work with public health departments to prevent, prepare, and respond to COVID-19, and addressing the unique needs of low-income students with disabilities, staff development, planning and coordinating long-term closures and how to provide meal services, online learning, mental health services, activities related to summer learning. So there are some possibilities there, but it's all up in the air right now. And I did send a letter to some of our federal legislators asking them about increased funding for special ed for Senator Baldwin and Representative Gallagher, particularly for increased funding. The National School Board Association sent out a board voice message, and I responded to them.
Anything else on budget, Mr.?
I've got a couple. We put in our first claim for the summer school food program, which is what the meal deliveries are being run under, excuse me, currently. So we put in our first claim for April. We've gotten paid for that. I think we've got in $29,600 for that, and we get paid so much per lunch and so much per breakfast meal. So it goes by how many meals you deliver, not by how much you spend. We also are in the process of getting bids in for our audit. We've gotten one in from our current auditor. They're the only ones that we have received. They were supposed to be in by yesterday, so they were the only ones that we received. Personally, I would like to see us stay with them, but we have to see which one is the best offer that we get. As far as the budget for 2021, it's in the process. We've gotten all of them from all of the teachers and principals and everything, so I'm in the process of entering them now, and then we'll be doing contracts for next year and getting all that information put in the budget. So,
Will that food program in some way ultimately result in some betterment, bonus to our budget? I mean, not so much a bonus,
it may make our food service look a little better this
A bit of a
year than
credit,
it has in the past. Yeah.
Right, because we're gonna spend, it's summer food, so our, during the school year, breakfast and lunch expenses will be down, and that money will help recover it. And like we can claim miles on the buses
Right,
for this
yeah.
too, so there'll be enough expenses there to cover that, but yeah, it's gonna help us in the end in that area.
So
Yeah.
the bus drivers, the wages that we're paying, well, we're putting in the hourly wages of the people that are doing the food deliveries. We're not so much figuring out how much it is per hour for a salary person, because we figured we've had enough expenses in that, with the hourly people and the bus drivers and the cooks that are actually putting the meals and stuff together. So, and there's not that many, maybe one or usually about one a day of the salary people that are actually doing the meal delivery. But yeah, overall, we should look like we should look a little better in our food service budget by the end of the year.
Right now, we run 8 routes running, and 3 of the routes have 1 adult on the bus, other than the bus driver, the other 5 have 2 adults on. We're trying to keep as few people out in public as possible.
Your state funding continue request, just looking at the next one, before you were having school, is that all stopped, or is that?
No, but it's the income for this year is the same, the revenue for this year remains the same. There's no change, but it could change in July.
Okay, facilities? See,
Facilities.
they're drilling a well out back.
They're drilling a well today. Tomorrow the greenhouse comes down. They've been excavating out back. The new shed, which is not part of the building project, is up. The garage doors need to be placed up on it. And the music offices and practice rooms, the 91 section that connects the 46 1946 section to the rest of the 91 section will be coming down in a week or two, it depends. Right now, through that ceiling runs the internet, bells, clocks, phone lines. We gotta reroute those, and then those will come down next. So those all are moving forward. None of that work has sped up because of not having kids in the building, but it has, if Mother Nature was holding us there, so we're okay. So we are moving forward. Those are the new addition. You have a budget summary sheet on your, and the far column, lowest number, 27,003,662. That's the projected cost at this point. Our budget is 27.1 million, so we're $96,338 under budget. Items you should notice in the bid amount. The second item with a star next to it is the structure demolition. We have a bid for $848,000. We're going back out for bid. That's for tearing down the 1946 and 1924 sections. Myron Construction feels that that bid is plenty high, and they are going back out to bid to see if they can lower that one. And then you go about 3/4 of the way down the sheet, winter conditions. There's a $200,000 allotment for winter conditions for next year. And right below that, there's a $175,000 allotment for when we hit bedrock for digging out back. And then the number below that for project contingency, we're sitting at $1 million in contingency funds. So we're in pretty good shape. And then you go almost down to the bottom, you'll see FF and E, that's furniture and furnishings for the building. That budget is $715,000. At this point, the plan is to spend about half of that. So there's gonna be some savings in that area too. And I'm sure we'll have an unknown expense someplace along the way, but it's in good shape at this point. So,
How big a tank do they put in for the fire suppression system?
there's 2 tanks.
Two tanks?
And there's a reason there's 2, and I don't know why. There's 2 tanks, and I don't know how many gallons there are.
Quite an amount.
It's quite an amount, and the sprinkler system will only be in the new addition, it won't be in the 65 portion of the building. And if there'd be a fire in a certain area, it all floods to that one zone, right?
And we talked about geothermal was never pursued.
That wasn't a viable option, though. That was dropped pretty early in the discussion. Yeah.
So with that,
So you guys would get a good overview with that in your orientation.
but with the fire system that is being included, it will help our insurance costs as far as the building is concerned.
It's almost a requirement.
Yeah, it is, and we're
Yeah.
having a hard time getting insurance at this point because we do not have A, location of the fire department, and B, because we don't have fire system in there.
For property where the insurance, we're a class 10, the worst class you could be. It's basically location. So we're greater than 5 miles from the firehouse.
Do you have anything that isn't in your report that's timely, Sue, that you need to report to us tonight?
Yes, at the last meeting, we talked about the new board member orientation. We've been talking about that tonight. And both Jerry and Dick are aware of the virtual meetings that will be taking place on the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd. There is also a new board member handbook on the WASB website, and you can download it, or if you prefer a hard copy, they will send that to you. And then there are some other virtual meetings. There is one that is taking place on either May 12 or May 14 from 7 to 8:30. And it is understanding your legal roles and responsibilities. And the second one is how to plan and conduct effective board meetings, and that is on May 20 or 21. And that also is from 7 to 8:30. So these are all on the WASB website, but the attorneys at WASB are doing just a fantastic job of keeping up with all of this, and they have every day there's an update coming through. There's a webinar on the 20th, which also talks about orienting new board members. and officer roles, and again, that's advertised on the WASB website. And, we will be meeting this week, to look at some more of the legal issues. Our legal people and our, government relations people are just working night and day on all of this, and new things coming out, daily. And then I just wanted to mention too, that I did send to Kyle a document on the transition back for students, families, and staff, which came out today from UCLA, the Center for Mental Health. And it's a 10-page document which gets into all of the kinds of transition back things for students, for families, and for staff. It's not going to be easy, but there's a lot of detailing in here that I think will be helpful.
Okay, thank you. We'll move to new business then. At this meeting, we always appoint the Wisconsin Association of School Boards, the school boards mentioned delegate. That person looks at all of the proposals that are put out there by different school districts and votes as the board directs, and an alternate. Sue has served as delegate in the past. Do you wish to do that again?
Yes, I would.
Is there a motion to appoint Sue today then?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Then we need an alternate, somebody that would plan to be trying to go to the meeting and serve if Sue could not. I do have to. Okay. Someone like to
Nominate Cindy Zellner Ayers as the alternate.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We have a representative of the C7 board and their convention delegate, and Sue has served in that capacity during her time on the board. Do you wish to do that again?
Yes, I do.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We then move to the fall 2020 Start College Now applications. Mr. Lee.
We have the courses listed that students from our district will take through the program, and you have to approve them, but you can't deny them, so.
I move we approve the fall 2020 Start College Now applications.
Second.
Other questions or discussion?
I have a question for you.
Mhm.
I noticed that one student is enrolled in 6 classes. Do we
Cap it?
cap it?
We do not. No, the guidance counselor works with them on picking the selecting the courses, so.
Okay.
They're still enrolled in.
They're a passable student, but they get dual
I
credit.
think it was like 17 credits this person carrying,
Mhm.
plus a credit load here.
Mhm. Well, they get dual credit, correct.
Okay.
Other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. What are we gonna do about graduation?
Well, we found out today that we'll be closed in May.
Right.
Mr. Barron, the administrative team, thought of a few ideas. He would like to pick a day in the summertime. I'm a little leery of doing that because I don't know when we can ever get back to having a decent size gathering of folks. Right, so that's concerning. One idea I had was delivering diplomas by bus to every graduate. He's checking into the drive-in up in Gibraltar area to see if we could do in the cars with a video on the big screen. I don't know if that's possible or not. He's searching into that. So I'd like them to explore that a little bit more.
So I guess if there's gonna be an opportunity for school board members to participate, they'll let us know.
When if you do need one, I would, my son's graduating.
Your son is
Right.
graduating, right?
He's interested in, I can ride the bus or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever the solution is.
Right, right.
If there-
Yeah.
We're
What is
holding
that
out.
Jostens virtual graduation?
Jocelyn's had a virtual
Yeah,
one
it
as
looked
well.
nice.
It looked kind of interesting, I listened to the video.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, basically walks you through it, so.
we'll hear more about that sometime down the road. Then we would we're looking at the waiver of instructional hours for 2019-20. The governor waived the requirement for instructional hours. So
We have to apply for a waiver, but we've all been told, it's interesting, we each have to apply for it, and we've all been told to apply for it, so we need board approval on it.
Public forum on
If anyone wanted to come and speak tonight, they could, this would count as a
Tonight.
public.
Oh, this is the public forum.
This would be it, yeah, this could be it, if they wanted to come. It was posted on the agenda, so it's legal.
I move we apply for the instructional hours waiver for 2019 and 2020.
Second.
questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then we have the pass-fail grading procedure for second semester.
With not having students here, different students have access to the abilities with the internet and such. The staff has talked to Mr. Bear about how to handle grading and credit, earning credits, and we've also been given legal advice to err on the side of caution because some kids have access, some don't, some have better support at home. So the motion is, the recommendation is to go with pass-fail for second semester of 1920 school year.
I mean, my question on that is, I agree with the pass-fail. I'm kind of curious on what scenario would cause someone to fail in this environment. And I won't vote for her, but I don't know if it's fact legally is anything an option. And, I mean, we can't just say it's all, right? I mean, so.
It'd be very difficult to fail.
Yeah, I
You
mean-
had to go into the pandemic
Right away.
with a very low grade and show no work from there. The work done during the pandemic is only gonna keep kids constant or improve. It's not
Because
gonna
it's called out
decrease.
60% in the pass. I mean, how are they grading all their assignments that is a hit or miss on who's turning it in? And the reality is hit or miss who's getting supported on.
Right.
So how would we, okay.
During the
I like your
pandemic, grades will
comment.
only go forward, and grades 4K through 5th grade is counting up to March 17th is 90%, and the remainder of the pandemic is 10% of their grades. So kids are not going to go backwards.
I just wanted to discuss it, because you know what's not being discussed? All the mental health on this. And then we're gonna pile on the grading
Right,
scenario, so
no,
this is great.
we're not.
Just wanted to talk
no.
about the reality of it.
So there is consideration up in,
For
is
the
it
first-
just the whole semester? I mean, is there any bearing on what happened up until March?
I think their
Yeah,
grade point
the
average is
grades
very
up until
low.
the day are valid. Up until like March 24th,
It's
as my
good.
understanding is those grades are legit, they're in grade books. Is that-
But they're gonna end up getting a pass-fail
Oh,
mark
fourth
for
grade,
the
fourth
semester.
grade.
Right, there won't be a third quarter grade, fourth quarter grade, final grade. It's gonna be pass-fail for the whole
Got it.
semester.
So-
Right, because otherwise you can't weigh it out. Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
misunderstood that. I thought you
No.
were saying that up until March was a certain percent and then.
For
last-
K-5, they're gonna do 90% up to March 17th, and they're gonna count the last as 10%, but no one's gonna go backwards.
But high school.
High school's gonna be
middle school,
pass-fail because that's what's gonna be on the transcript, because they have semester grades on their transcript. And the universities are now telling us they're gonna accept pass-fail grades, and it's nice that everybody nationwide is in the same boat, not just our little corner of the world. Otherwise, we always have to explain why do the Sevastopol kids have a pass-fail mark for this one semester here. Everyone's gonna know when they see spring of 2020 what it is.
Right, the year.
Yeah, that's what it is,
Which is right.
that's exactly what it is, yeah.
So we have guaranteed that no seniors will be compromised. At all.
At this point, right.
Okay.
Mhm. Unless they were going into the semester credits deficient and going into reaching up in the second semester, but we don't have anyone in that case. Yeah. So everyone's moving forward. And elementary, they're advancing to the next grade for fall. We're not holding folks back because of this.
And are we consistent with how other school districts in their county are managing this?
Yeah, on Tuesday I was in a meeting with over 200 superintendents, and
Everybody?
we're all,
Okay.
I didn't hear anyone go the other direction. We discussed this, so.
I would think of the differences in this. I've been on the Economic Development Council's Internet Committee for 2 years now. And I would think one area of difference is,
probably the number of kids who have access to internet in the north are greater than in Sevastopol, because the northern towns have gotten out of underneath the counties. With the ordinance on towers and gone around with it. So that, how's it after hasn't? And I think this whole dilemma is going to now focus on the lack of internet in the rural settings. Supposedly about 40% of rural people don't have access, or 40% don't have access to internet in this country. Compared to, maybe it's 32%, compared to 17% now, so. And this is in a Fair County. Fair County's power ordinance, you would think, would be for Cook County. Not for a rural setting. Very contentious about any town, unless you put in your own town. So if you have trees in the way, or you live in the valley, you are without internet.
County was in Grove got out of that a few years ago, and then they got into getting some grants from the state with York County Broadband, and they put up a series of towers. And now this last group of money, when Jacksonport and Egg Harbor applied, the money went for broadband. It went, Egg Harbor got an obscene amount of money to offer internet, pre-internet downtown Egg Harbor. So.
But Sevastopol hasn't voted to get out. Why the county has to be able to do things this way, none of us on this committee have ever figured out now. Anyway, that's an issue that we really need to talk about and take advantage of. I think the solution in the long run is the formation of co-op type things. Rural co-ops provide internet services in the same way that co-ops were formed in the 30s and 40s for electricity. But I always say that if the government did the rural electric like they're doing rural internet, we would still just have candles at our tables.
So you have some knowledge on that, so maybe it's a good topic for our retreat, just a discussion topic for our retreat. Not to cut you off, I'm just.
No, that's fine.
I think it's a good topic to put on the agenda for that day. So is there a motion, was there a motion to accept pass-fail?
No.
No. Is there a motion to accept the pass-fail?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We then had 2 sample houses for virtual board meetings, and they were long, and I struggled to figure out what the difference between them was, because one of our policy committee people tell us.
Well, here's all I found is, I recommend number 1, because number 1 allows us to do a remote meeting with limited, it would be basically a presiding officer and a superintendent, so 2 people are stuck coming into the building, but then we get a remote dial in, which is becoming far more doable. And policy number 2 would prevent us from doing that, to say you have to have so many people in the building. So, I didn't see, there might be other differences.
No, that's the difference, and they're both from WSAP, so they give you the option, and so I put both the packages.
I think today's day and age is way over and we all just gotta, I'll tell you that, because I read that portion closely, is we just all gotta make sure the community where we're sitting in your house or whatever isn't being heard, listened by anybody else, if we were to go into a closed session.
If you want
That's
to
on your own responsibility.
My cats don't normally.
Yes, ma'am, they could be okay.
We just did that. We just did that at NWTC. Our meeting yesterday was the first one. We just started to call and if they thought it was against the state statute. But what they did is like we went to executive session, you got a whole nother dialogue to go through that the public can't access. So the one channel you're on, public can get into it and see just the same thing you're going to see. But when you do the executive session, you have to go out and then come back on another line that the public doesn't have access.
That's exactly the recommendation, right?
Stephen can figure all that out.
Yeah, sure.
We're trainable, that's what I'm saying.
So is this something we can act on as a first reading?
You can act on this first reading because of the times we're under, correct?
I have a question for Steve about this. Steve, talk to us a little bit about the hardship it might pose regarding taping.
most virtual meeting setups, we can record them, like you can just record everything right through it, and you can post that way. Basically, the hardest part about it would be like when you guys go into closed session, then just me getting a heads up that, okay, we're going back into open session, recording that, and then splicing them together. But yeah, that's totally doable. Again, it's just learning.
Is there any real problem with streaming when, we have connections that vary, from our location? I know.
We have that with some of our teaching staff, and at least, like, we've been using Google Meet, and the one nice part is if you enable the closed captioning, even if their internet's really bad and you can't make out what they're saying, the closed captions still come out clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's the only problem I would see. Personally, I would prefer a physical forum.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact, at my location, I know that I can do some video streaming, but it gets jerky.
Right.
And, I think we lose that interaction between board members and, for people in the public that are concerned about various meetings and would go through it, I think they would have some difficulty too. So my personal preference would be that we go with the quorum.
Well, I would.
This policy would,
Well, what I was gonna say is, I think what I would, understanding of putting a policy like this, I agree with you, I think I love the face-to-face, I think we all agree with personal, but my point is if we have to make a decision, if it's a hiring someone for fall, or there's some budget decision that needs approval, and we can't meet, and it does call out your platform, so we could use phone, and phone is reliable, we could do a conference call, there's methods of recording it.
Okay.
So, my point is, I agree with what you're saying, I don't think we're gonna go through every meeting being remote. I think if all of the next couple of months with Harrier, then we could meet, but I would echo your opinion that I prefer personal
I would see
gathering.
it as a last
resort. I
last
think.
resort.
If that's what you meant, I mean, then I would.
Right,
Well,
it
yeah.
says emergency on right in the title, right?
We need to
Two
have
options.
options, I think,
Right,
to be
yeah.
able to do it,
Just-
because we don't know what's coming down the road on this whole thing. If we can meet in person, I think
Right.
that's great.
This is new
If
territory.
we can't, or if somebody can't because they are, coronavirus positive, then it gives them another option.
What we did at PC was when we could call them on the phone to the system. It wasn't that, this was pre-virus, even though it's coming in. And we limited it that you could do that X number of times a year, so you don't get any habit of doing that. So I think we came to a compromise. As an individual board member, you could use calling a max of 3 times a year. So you don't get yourself in a bind with everybody's all of a sudden saying it. So you set that anyway.
I think there's some agreement, and the only thing I would echo here, this, as Kyle just noted, this is called out in emergency situations, so I'm not even sure we'd have to limit
Right.
it, because,
It's different here because when you're on PC board, you got people coming from way up by,
Right.
so,
UP and stuff.
I think if we run into a problem when someone wants to do it all the time, we'll have to do it at a policy. So, is there a motion for one of those? Or do you wanna review it again next time, or do you wanna approve the first reading?
I think there's an urgency here. I think.
well, is everyone straightforward?
Do we have to do two?
We don't because of the pandemic, we can go right now, but I can't think we should because I don't know.
We can do it.
I don't know where we're gonna be in May, right?
So,
We-
well, I move to approve the virtual board meetings in emergency situations, sample policy 1, to be an approved policy today.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
So there is no first reading, and it's just to be approved today.
It's through today.
If no, Jerry, otherwise we have to have two
First
readings
and
before
last.
we can enact it. Maybe you know that, but you don't,
We
Jerry.
get out of control, they can put us back in line.
Then we have a resignation to accept.
I would move to approve the resignation of Jason Stencil, assistant football coach.
Second.
Aye.
He wants to watch his daughter run cross country next year. He's been a great coach and on
State
time. I'm hoping it's a hiatus, he comes back in a couple of years, that's my dream.
Well, many thanks to him, that was awesome.
All in
Gives
favor?
good perspective and a lot, sorry.
Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Our next meeting then will be May 21st, unless something would arise where we have to have a special meeting during mansion, but we don't know. And, we'll shoot for we'll try to come to consensus on a meeting in June, next meeting, for the retreat. Bring the calendar. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned at 7:49. Thank you very much.
That's the-
Oh my God.